Hello people, this is MN4J and we are starting the stream for today. So we'll be doing, I guess, four of the discovery tour in the pyramids category, and that will be the end for today. So that's the plan for the stream. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I understand that the discovery tours, not all of them are interesting enough, but yeah, for the information and keeping it for the sake of keeping it in sequence, we are doing it anyways. So let's start. I don't know, sometimes it feels like the audio is too loud. Give me a second. Hopefully the game audio is not too loud now. Let's continue with this settings. If there is an issue, do let me know. So we are doing the Great Pyramids of Giza upper chambers. So we looked into the lower chamber and it wasn't finished properly because maybe too foo. I was saying too foo yesterday. Noticed later in the stream. Yeah, so Tufu decided that the underground chamber was not good enough for him, so it wasn't finished properly. So now we are about to visit the upper chambers of the Great Pyramid. So let's know about it.
Welcome to the Great Pyramid of Giza, upper chambers.
Okay. Let's have our fire torch ready.
At the entrance of the ascending passage are 3 granite flagstones estimated to weigh up to 25 tons each. They were used to protect the Great Pyramid from thieves. Undaunted by the granite blocks, the thieves simply dug into the softer limestone around them, thus creating the robber's entrance.
The robber's entrance. Let's check this artwork. So, is this the robber's entrance? Maybe. Not so sure, but we have seen this artwork before. Let's continue. So we are still in the Great Pisa.
While in reality, the robber's
Giza
entrance
pyramids
is one single cavity which leads to both passages. In the game, the team created individual accesses to either passage.
Okay.
As such, in the game, one entrance leads to the ascending passage, while another leads to the descending passage.
Okay, so they have made it different in the game. Okay. So one towards this side and the other towards this side. But as in the map, it should be going right up there and bottom. So yeah, different approach. Nice.
The ascending passageway of the Great Pyramid provides a direct path into the Grand Gallery and is accessed 30 meters from the entrance along the descending corridor. Both corridors have similar dimensions and are designed with the same 26-degree incline.
Yeah, it is pretty much inclined 26 degrees. Not sure, can't tell from here. Maybe by the crack on the wall and Aya's standing posture. 26 degrees it is. Is it? Maybe, not so sure. It looks more like 30, but not so perfect. Okay, let's check out the artwork. So the cut of Cheops pyramid, detail on ascending corridor. So this one is, we are right now over here trying to climb up. And we are going into the upper chambers, which was later used for preserving the bodies. So let's continue. Go on, Naya. Go on. Ah, it's beautiful up ahead.
The corridor has smooth masonry on its walls,
okay,
and the layout includes many trapezoidal stones.
Mm-hmm.
Both the floor and ceiling of the passageway indicate that the passage was enlarged, possibly during or after the funeral, to allow workers room to move granite blocks meant to plug the corridor.
Okay, and this area looks beautiful.
The Grand Gallery's purpose is still debated among experts. It may have been intended to align with the stars, act as a buffer to protect the King's Chamber, or simply to facilitate the transport of the granite blocks used inside the pyramid. Access to the Queen's Chamber was at the beginning of the Grand Gallery.
The camera got frozen, so sorry guys. Okay. So it's still debated that why is this so decorated. Maybe the Queen's Chamber was at the beginning, that's why. Maybe. Okay, hopefully the camera doesn't freeze again. If it does, let me know in the chat, okay? So this is again by Jean-Claude Galvin, and he did this one. So which way here? We are going inside, so maybe the Queen's chamber. Let's go. Crouch, we'll have to crouch down. Okay, let's go. There'll be snakes, definitely. We can hear them. We can't see through properly. But they don't attack, so nothing to worry. Stand up, Aya. Let's continue. What is this?
Though this room is referred to as the Queen's Chamber, it is believed that there was no queen buried here. Based on their knowledge of earlier pyramids, Egyptologists believe it was more likely intended as the king's serdab, a chamber meant to contain the Ka statue, which would in turn house the king's spirit.
For the spirit, for the body and spirit, different places. Interesting. Okay, this is the statue of Royal Ka Tutankhamun, Rana period, Egyptian Museum, Cairo. Okay, and we have an entire pyramid right here. Interesting, but yeah, he looks like an average guy, just he's a king. And Tutankhamun was a kid, I guess, like not properly grown up. Not so sure, I heard it somewhere. Okay, maybe we'll know more about it. Let's continue the tour.
Situated exactly within the pyramid's center, on the east-west axis of the pyramid, the chamber has a vaulted ceiling and measures 5.7 by 5.2 meters. In the eastern wall, there is a niche tucked away in a small corbelled archway, which may have originally held the Ka statue. Behind this niche is another smaller hole, possibly dug out by thieves in search of further treasure.
Okay, the thieves have dug up the entire place, so these are thief holes. Interesting. Not so sure. Do we have anything else here? I don't think so. There's a cage. Is this a cage or a rack to keep things? There are pots, so maybe it is a cage. Let's start this checkpoint. There are offerings being done here. We have this Egyptian symbol. We have seen this before. One is metal, another is like gem or ivory maybe, and candles. Interesting. Let's continue to this one.
In the 19th century, two shafts were found running through the north and south walls. They each run in a horizontal line for 2 meters before sloping upward, and both are closed off with limestone blocks fitted with copper handles.
Why?
Whether they were intended as ventilation shafts for workers or a celestial connection for the pharaoh's spirit is unconfirmed.
Okay. Let's get to the next checkpoint.
A recent scan of the room indicated the presence of an unknown cavity hidden behind the north face of the walls over the descending corridor. Further investigation is still ongoing to ascertain the nature of the anomaly, so as to avoid risking damage to the monument.
And the camera is frozen again, guys. I'll have to, I don't know. I'll have to turn off the camera. It's not working fine. Like it's working now and we'll turn off again. So turning off the camera for today, guys. It's causing trouble. Okay, let's continue. Bad day to stream. But does it stop us from doing the stream? No, we'll keep on moving. I think it's something with the Wi-Fi connection. As the camera is streaming its video through Wi-Fi, so maybe it's not getting enough bandwidth. Somebody's hacking into our internet maybe.
Khufu's architects were possibly influenced by earlier rhomboidal pyramids when designing the gallery. It is the longest corbelled vault ever built, measuring 47 meters long and 8.6 meters high. The walls were made to taper inward, allowing for better distribution of weight. As a result, The ceiling measures just over 1 meter wide at its highest point. Though this construction technique is present in other pyramids, few have the same precision and stability.
Okay, let's check out this artwork. So this is this hallway, the one we are seeing right now. It looks very futuristic, very organized. The pyramids of Memphis, a view of the gallery of the Grand Pyramid taken from below and above. The detail from the bottom of the gallery, 19th century. Atlas de Arte Museus Nexilus Nationus. More, I don't know this language, so no point in reading Sentenese. It's naming something. This is a photo. No, it's not a photo. It's hand drawn. Come on, why is it saying photo? Maybe somebody took a photo of a hand drawn thing. The photo RM Grand Palace. Okay. So yeah, beautiful thing, but it's definitely not a photograph. Let's continue. Ah, yeah, you can stand up now.
While the space is visually dramatic, the gallery seems
Very
to serve
dramatic.
a practical function, though what exactly remains uncertain. Still, the wall design was undoubtedly meant to contribute to the stability of the structure, and its floor may have helped workers move the materials. A channel runs along the middle of the room. A movable floor originally rested in this central recess. The raised benches on either side are equipped with slots that may have been used to help position the granite blocking stones.
Maybe. Not so sure. Should we light this one up? Let's do it. Aya, can you light this up, please? Aya, can you? Yeah, she can. It doesn't light up. Okay, let's go.
At the end of the Grand Gallery is the entrance to the antechamber leading to the King's Chamber. Directly above, there is another narrower horizontal passage that connects to the top of the King's Chamber and allow the workers access to the weight relief rooms. The far end of the Grand Gallery leads to a small antechamber with a portcullis, preventing access to the King's Chamber. The portcullis was composed of 3 separate granite slabs. They were designed to be lowered into place and seal the chamber after the burial of the king. The grooves dug out to hold the slabs in place are still clearly visible to this day. The elaborate locking system was composed of a series of grooves for the ropes and pulleys that dropped the stones into place like the notches on a key.
Okay, we can't make anything out of this diagram because we don't understand anything right here. Like we are right at this, we are talking about this chamber. It's highlighted, but I'm not so sure what kind of lock system they are talking about. So let's continue. Okay, Aya, come on, move fast.
For the purposes of the game, the team elected to remove the portcullis slabs in order to grant the player access to the King's Chamber. In reality, workers would have backed out of the room after the funeral, lowering each slab into place behind them one at a time. Each of the 3 stones were smashed by looters centuries later, and evidence of their break-in is still evident.
Okay, this is the end of the door? No, why? Jean Pierre Houdin's theory. So it is right here. I don't know if it's a continuation. It should be. Just let's have a look in the passport. We don't want to ruin anything like the sequence. So okay, it's a different. We are still here. We should continue. And this one is the one we are looking at. So we go around this. I don't know. It's why are we getting confused? Okay, we need to initiate this one. Okay.
The King's Chamber is built entirely out of red granite. The King's Chamber measures 5.8 meters in height. It has an imposing cover of 5 stacked levels above, with granite beams weighing 25 to 40 tons each. The uppermost level is surmounted by a vault of stones, arranged in chevrons to bear the enormous structural load.
So right now we are in this chamber, and these are to support this structural load, like it's complete pile of stone, so that it doesn't crash us down. Interesting way of building things. Let's continue.
As in the Queen's Chamber, 2 shafts extend out from the room towards the north and south faces of the pyramid. They measure nearly 64 meters until they are blocked by copper-handled granite plugs. Some experts in the culture of the Old Kingdom believe that the shafts were thought to lead the king's soul to the stars, with the incarnation of the pharaoh as the god Ra, represented by the northern well, and the god Horus by the southern well.
Interesting, and we have a new diagram. So for 2 gods, 2 different shafts. I think they are just ventilation shafts, and the name did for the gods, maybe. It would be really hard to get air in here to breathe. Let's have a better look. So what are these? These are like the plan for placing the stones. Not so sure. So this is the recreation by Jean-Claude, so it may not be. Let's continue.
There is a granite sarcophagus at the west end of the room.
Okay, we see
but
it.
It is the concealed construction inscriptions left by workmen on the roof's stones, which verify this as the resting place of Khufu. The sarcophagus was recorded as being empty when it was discovered, and its design indicates that there was once a lid in place. It's possible that this sarcophagus is only a cenotaph in memory of the pharaoh, but was never actually meant to receive the body.
So what does that mean? Was the body stolen, or he was never placed there? Never placed there. Interesting. So hieroglyphics in chambers of construction. So this is the one they got by Howard Weirs and Pairing, 1840 operations. Maybe the next tour will let us know what happened here. We can't read the hieroglyphics. Not a chance, not a chance. No matter how many attempts we do, we cannot read that. We will have to wait for the tour to tell us more about it. North side, south side, a few English and symbols. So just have a look and then continue. We'll have to continue, no other way out. So this one is done. Let's continue to this side.
Khufu's mummy was never found. It is hoped that as of yet undiscovered hidden rooms and shafts of the pyramid may provide an answer as to its location.
So they are still trying to search him without destroying the actual pyramid. Maybe they will find it. The missing mummy, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay, so the greatest pyramid does not have the actual mummy inside. Somebody stole it. Not so sure. Okay, let's start this one so that we can learn about the theory, Jean-Pierre Houdin's theory. Learn about the Jean-Pierre Houdin's theory in the ancient Egyptian construction technique and the Great Pyramids. Very much would like to learn.
Welcome to Jean-Pierre Houdin's theories.
Jean-Pierre, Pierre. Okay, it's not Pierre Ray, it's Pierre. Okay, we'll have to remember that. Whoa, that was a fancy move, yeah. Let's continue. Let's not try to loot anything. What? These are riches. These are too many. I don't know if they are valuable or not, but yeah. At least more valuable than stones.
The team wanted to provide players with a sense of exploration and discovery, particularly within the Great Pyramid. As such, a decision was made that the internal design of the monument in the game would reflect Jean-Pierre Houdin's theories. While the antechambers of the king's tomb have yet to be discovered, Houdin posits that this is merely due to a unique design, placing the pharaoh's tomb at the center of the pyramid. The entire tour you are about to take was designed along Houdin's hypotheses.
Okay, let's learn about it. He looks smart. maybe this will be interesting. Or maybe it could be too boring because it's very real, but sometimes reality is more fun than fiction. So many alternate opinions, so let's just continue. We need to climb up. We are not going to take any riches here. This pillar is falling down. Okay, let's climb up. What do we have here? What is this?
While respecting Houdain's hypothesis as to the general layout of the antechambers, the team wanted the contents to enhance the game experience.
So they have made the coffin here.
In regular royal tombs, the antechambers were filled with all the material goods needed by the pharaoh in the afterlife.
Okay.
To support the feelings of discovery and awe, the art team created a unique and fantastical treasure in this second antechamber.
Okay. So it was never there. That's what they mean to say. Nice, nice, nice. So is the coffin here? They do not say anything about it. Like in the previous store, they said the body was never found. So let's go through here then. Aya, crouch down. Let's go. Okay, where are we? Is it safe to jump down? It doesn't look like it.
Houdain theorized that the ascending corridor and the Great Gallery were used by the workers to haul hoist the heavy beams above the king's chamber. He called it the service circuit. The corridor you are in now was created by the team following Houdain's theory and is referred to as the noble circuit. It is through this corridor that the wooden sarcophagus containing the pharaoh's mummy would have been transported to its final resting chamber.
Okay, so we will have to go down. Let's do it. And we have seen this diagram before for the inner, what is that, inner circuit. There is a proper term for this, to carry materials from top to bottom. We have seen this before. Let's continue down. Through here. Is that sand or snakes? Not sure. Let's go in. What is this?
With this structure in mind, one can easily assume that the pyramid's entrance would have been connected to the two antechambers. Modern research has revealed that a cavity might be located behind the north face chevrons of the pyramid. As such, the team chose to create this area for the player to explore. Here is where Houdain believes that the priests and nobles would have exited the pyramid after the burial ceremony.
Okay. Let's go back. Where to now? We can climb up here? Yes, we can. Come on, Aya. Show your skills. No. Do not need to really go down there. Come on. A little down. Yeah, climb up. Okay. Ah, it's pretty far.
Many theories regarding the construction of the Great Pyramid rely on the usage of external ramps. However, Houdain believes an external ramp would have been too steep for the upper portion of the pyramid. This is why he posits that there were two ramps. An external ramp for about half of the height of the pyramid, which then became an internal ramp for the second half.
Interesting. I don't really understand the concept of ramp here. Like they were pulling up stones and making an entire ramp from inside. That would be very, very complicated. Wish they could show some animation how things work there.
Huday's theory states that this internal ramp followed the sides of the pyramid in an ascending spiral pattern. A notch discovered in the edge of the Great Pyramid, known as Bob's Room, seems to support this theory. Located at the corners of each edge of the pyramid, these large rooms would have allowed workers to turn the stone by 90 degrees, allowing them to continue the ascent. The team chose to create rooms such as this one, bringing Huday's hypothesis to life.
So they will bring in stones from here, and then this will be the big one just to rotate them. Interesting. Let's continue. Hopefully this is not a trap door. It's not. Whoa.
This long corridor was the first section of the ascending internal ramp.
So this is the first one.
Through it, the blocks used to build the Great Pyramid would have been carefully moved upward and then turned at each edge of the pyramid in order to continue their ascent. Though the team only created the main ramp for the game, Huday posits that this ramp had 2 levels, allowing workers to return safely to the bottom thanks to an additional corbelled upper section.
Through the spider webs. Whoa. Sliding down, no risk here. Are we out? Looks like that. We are outside. Come on. Is this it? No. Yeah, this is it, I guess. We are outside.
According to Huday, the start of the inner ramp was located at the base of the southeastern face of the pyramid. This location would have been the junction point of the external and internal ramps. Below us, workers would have built the lower part of the pyramid with the external ramp before eventually switching to the internal ramp for the middle and upper sections of the pyramid. At that time in the process, they could have reused the material of the external ramp to fill the center of the pyramid, hauling the stones in through the internal ramp.
So they connected the internal and external over here. I'm still not clear how this ramps worked. Like, not very sure about it. We really need some animation to show how it worked. I think that the narrator didn't say much and could have explained a bit more. Okay, let's continue to the next trip. Which one is it? Kafare. We have been doing Khufu, Khafre funerary complex. So this will be a different one. It's in Giza. So I think this is the second one, maybe. So where are we exactly? We're over here and we have been doing these ones. So we are now in the second one that we always see. They're almost similar looking. Let's do it.
Welcome to Khafre's funerary complex.
So just the funerary complex, not inside the pyramid.
Of the 4th dynasty, mortuary temples were built adjacent to pyramids on the eastern side. Such a location, facing the rising sun, as well as the world of the living as a whole, held an important symbolic meaning, for it was within the mortuary temple that kings were in its standard form.
We accidentally initiated another one.
The temple was divided into 2 parts. A front area which consisted of a vestibule and a courtyard, and an area in the back, where all sacred elements were located. The back of the temple incorporated several essential features, including an inner sanctuary with a false door, which allowed the soul of the pharaoh to travel between the world of the dead and the world of the living. The largest of all such structures, Khafre's mortuary temple was entirely built with megalithic blocks of limestone from a nearby quarry and encased with granite. Parts of Khafre's mortuary temple, particularly the courtyard walls, are thought to have been decorated with splendid reliefs. However, not a single image of the king has been discovered inside the mortuary temple.
Interesting, but this is a part of a wall and it's been carved. Yeah, it has to be carved, I guess. Or is it pasted upon it? Carving would be tough, like entire stone, and they will have to No, they could have carved it. They could have used I don't know, what do they say, casting materials, casting things to make imprints on the wall, because the layer looks different. Like this is a bit powdery and this is like way smoother though. So it could be clay and then this one is casted on this, maybe. Okay, which way again, Naya? Over this side? Okay, let's go. Whoa, who is this?
Khufu's direct successor, Jedafre, followed the custom which required each king to establish a new site for their funerary accommodation, and chose Abu Rawash as his last resting place. When the time came to build his own funerary complex, Khafre, also one of Khufu's sons and the successor to Jedafre, broke with tradition and returned to Giza. Not only did Khafre thumb his nose at tradition, but he did so in a way which he hoped would allow him to overshadow his father's most important monument.
Okay, this guy looks interesting and he has an eagle in the back of his head. Hopefully it's not a dead one. Almost jump scared me. Okay, which way? We came in through here. Let's continue. That is far. Let's call our horse. Come on, stand still. We are just riding around the pyramids.
Though Khafre's pyramid is smaller than Khufu's, it was cunningly built on a more elevated bedrock layer than the Great Pyramid, making it appear higher than any other pyramid at Giza. Today, Khafre's pyramid is the only one among the three at Giza that still has the upper part of its limestone casing.
Okay. So the tip. What is this? This is a photograph. Pyramids of Giza by Johann Martin Bernards. Shirka, 1837. This is illustrated, I guess. Beautiful.
Whoa! Considered a most sacred area, the Giza necropolis was strictly defined, both geographically and physically. An 8-meter thick Tura limestone wall completely surrounded the Great Pyramid. The only way inside would have been through the mortuary temple.
So this wall they are talking about, or that one over there. Can you see that one far away?
From the reign of Sneferu and onwards, the subsidiary pyramid became a common feature within the pyramidal complex. The function of the subsidiary pyramid, however, smaller in size and in height than the royal tomb, remains unclear, though some believe that it was meant to house the ka of the pharaoh.
Could be.
Whoa. In mainstream media, the ka is often defined as the soul of the deceased. The truth is a bit more complicated. Within the ancient Egyptian funerary belief system, the ka was a component of a living person, which separated itself from the body at the time of death. It represented the deceased's vital essence. In order for the deceased to ascend to a new life, whether in this world or the next, the Ka had to be embodied in a statue and its existence maintained through offerings and rituals.
So it needs offerings and rituals, that's why they are outside and easily accessible, so that offerings and rituals can be made. Let's look at this artwork. Is it an original artwork? It looks kind of different. And the priest, or I don't know who is it, he's wearing he or she is wearing a leopard skin. Interesting. The Book of the Dead, Papyrus of Noctua 18th Dynasty, photo RMN Grand Palais. What is happening here? I think they are performing the ritual, so to keep the Ka alive, Ka of the Pharaoh alive. Let's continue.
Within Khafre's subsidiary pyramid, a wooden box containing pieces of cedar was discovered by archaeologists. When reassembled, it turned out to be a shrine mounted on a sled. Just as with the solar barges found around Khufu's pyramid, it seems Khafre's shrine and sled were ritually disposed of after his funeral.
So Papyrus Book of the Dead is from the same book, and I think the illustrator is also same, kind of similar kind of drawing style. And okay, it's a funerary procession, and they're carrying a body. I think it's way too small. The ratio is way off, but interesting. Whoa. This one is done. Where is the other one? We need one more. It's not around. We'll have to take it from the passport. And this will be the last one for today's stream, guys. Technical issues, cameras and other things, and also we do 2 to 3 every day, so it's almost time. So let's start this one and finish as fast as possible.
Welcome to Menkaura's funerary complex. The dimensions of Menkaura's pyramid are much less grandiose. However, unlike its predecessors, Menkaura's pyramid shows a great deal of complexity in its internal and external finish. The outside was partially covered in red granite, while the internal walls were richly decorated. This latter innovation would not catch on until the end of the 5th dynasty, when pyramid texts began to adorn the walls.
Okay, let's check this artwork. What's happening here? How to pronounce it? Sepulchral Chamber, 3rd pyramid by Howard Wise and Behringer. This is an artwork. What are they doing? I don't know. Are they scavenging the tomb? They are taking out stuffs, maybe? Not so sure. University of California Libraries. Let's continue.
Whoa. Menkaura's pyramid contains 2 sloping passages, both located in the northern side of the structure. The upper one was abandoned during the construction phase, whereas the lower one, slightly above the base of the monument, constitutes the real entrance. The lower passage leads to a first room, which, for the first time since the reign of Djoser, is decorated with engraved false doors.
Djoser's false doors, doors within doors. That pyramid was really interesting. Okay, let's check out the artwork. This is kind of different. Section through center of the 3rd pyramid, the Howard Wise and Behringer. What are they showing? So the burial chambers are way below the pyramid, and some interesting roots up there. Not sure what its function is. Let's continue. Which way again? I can't. This way. I always lose the sense of direction, and we don't even have compass in this game.
Whoa. While Menkaura's pyramid complex was unfinished at the time of his death, it was hastily and somewhat shabbily completed by his successor, Shepseskaf. Even so, this funerary structure marks a watershed in the history of this kind of monument. From then onwards, the pyramid shrank, whereas the mortuary temple expanded both in its quantitative and qualitative aspects. Of particular note, it is within Menkaura's mortuary temple that one can find the heaviest block of limestone ever used for a pyramid complex, weighing in at over 200 tons.
200 tons? They are making people work too hard. I don't know how much they got paid. 1937, the seated statue of Menkaure, reign of Menkaure. Interesting. So these are not just colors, these are granites, red granites. Interesting. Okay, let's continue the tour. Which way? Over there. We'll have to get on the horse and climb up.
Whoa.
Climb up the Naya. You can do this. What is over here? This is another mastaba.
Menkaura's causeway was completed in mud
Temple
brick
complex
by the king's successor, whereas the lower part was nothing more than a simple ramp. As for the Valley Temple, it was built in 2 phases. The foundations were first laid out in limestone during Menkaura's reign, but the temple itself was completed in mud brick afterwards. As such, the Valley Temple was soon damaged and ended up being completely rebuilt during the 6th dynasty.
Okay, let's check out the artwork. We have seen this one before. Pyramid of Giza during the Old Kingdom. Yeah, we have seen this one before by Jean-Claude. Let's continue.
Three small structures, referred to as Menkaura's Queen's Pyramids, were erected along the southern side of the main pyramid. One of them was a smooth-faced pyramid, while the other 2 were more basic step pyramids. It is difficult to assess whether the latter were designed as such or were left unfinished with no casing to smooth out their surfaces.
Okay, so this is the... what is it? What is this? View of the Pyramid South and the Third Pyramid by Howard Weiss and Behringer, 1840. Operations carried by the Pyramid of Giza in 1837. Okay, we are getting comments. I think we have only one viewer today. It's Saturday, everybody's partying or maybe sleeping. Okay, it happens. So we don't have any information on this picture, just the image of the pyramids. Okay, let's continue. We are a horseback. RC. Over here, where are we going? You cannot hear us, we'll have to run away. Now he's coming. What happened to you?
Whoa. The easternmost pyramid was built with the traditional rooms and corridors found within a satellite pyramid meant to house the king's ka. However, a granite sarcophagus was found within, leading to the conclusion that it was used as an actual tomb rather than as a symbolic cenotaph. Drawing on these observations, some assume that this pyramid was first built as a satellite pyramid for the king's ka, before seeing its purpose change to that of a queen's tomb. Which queen, however, remains a mystery.
So it was made for some queen. Entrance to the 4th and the 5th pyramid queens, the Howard Weiss pairing. So entrance is so cruel. It looks like thieves' entrance. And also it was meant to be sealed off, so that's why. So this one is done, I guess. I'm not thinking that we will do any more discovery tours today. We have done 4, and I don't know, maybe we will have a gameplay And also sure the camera is not working, guys. You know what, let's end the stream today. Yeah, we'll have to end it. The next day, I don't know if we can start Egypt or daily life. Maybe we'll do Egypt. We had too much information in this pyramid and it was kind of heavy, so I think it will be fun to watch either Romans or daily life. We'll pick one of these two and we'll do that next day. So this is the end for the stream for today, guys. We'll have to go, and we'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully. Bye bye.